Hello everyone, welcome back to the Maverick channel, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, and we like looking at trends in the cryptocurrency space. Now in this video I'm going to talk about a couple of things, but I want you to pay attention to the cryptocurrencies that I mentioned. I'm going to drop a couple of names, and I guarantee you, at least to some extent, I'm pretty much convinced that some of these ecosystems are going to be truly the underlying layer 0, layer 2, layer 1 solutions as we move forward in the crypto space, especially with the kind of products that have been built around this space. So, but before we move into that, guys, don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe button, as it helps the growth of this channel. But before we move into those topics, the news that's circulating right now in the crypto space is this: now live voting on proof of work, Bitcoin, markets in crypto assets and amending directive EU, and so on and so on, adoption of draft report and so on. So this was going on live. What was this, if you're asking yourself? This was it. Committee on Economic and Monetary Affairs. So basically, the European Parliament Committee votes against proof of work ban, so supports alternative amendment on crypto assets. Those are the outcomes of that meeting the European Parliamentary Committee just had, which is the Economic Committee and the Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee, which has voted against banning proof of work based assets for companies in European Union. So an alternative proposal on crypto assets by European Parliament member Stefan Berger receives support instead. So the committee rejects proof of work ban, which is good because there's a proposal that was passed at the last minute that there should be a ban on proof of work, because there's this argument that a lot of energy is wasted by proof of work, which many people argue against. Personally, I say proof of work incentivizes the use of renewable energy. So because if you're mining Bitcoin, it's going to be really expensive. So you want to bring down those energy costs, which means you're going to be incentivized to use renewable energy, which is more accessible, and chances are it will be cheaper. So I kind of disagree with some of these narratives being pushed forward, because the research pushed forward in pursuit of the proof of work reduction of the expenses in there will result into an explosion in the adoption of renewable energy. But I mean, I guess that's why it was voted against, because some of the people truly understand what's going on. So the alternative amendment on crypto assets supported. So Hansen added that an alternative amendment from European Parliament member Stefan Berger received support instead. The amendment reads: by 1st of January 2025, the Commission shall present to the European Parliament and to the Council as appropriate a legislative proposal to amend Regulation 2020/852 in accordance with Article 10 of that regulation. So with a view to include in the EU Sustainable Finance taxonomy any crypto asset mining activities that contribute substantially to climate change mitigation and adaptation. So Berger tweeted after proof of work ban votes that this is the first stage win for MICA. He added that by accepting this proposal, EU Parliament members have paved the way for future crypto regulation. So regarding whether there are still any chances left on the proof of work ban, Hansen explained. So the groups that lost the vote have one last option. They could veto a fast-track procedure of MICA through the trilogues and bring the discussion of the plenary of the parliament. So they need 1 out of 10 of the votes and so on and so forth. But for now, I guess the people voting know what they're voting for, or the lack thereof. So I guess this was swayed in. This was a win for Bitcoin. But still, it's amazing to think that some of these organizations, it's amazing to think that they still have that much of an influence over the cryptocurrency space. I think that's due to lack of knowledge, lack of education, proper education. But let's move forward. So in other news, those that know FTX exchange, which is trying to focus on synthetic assets, basically bridging your traditional assets to the way we know digital assets right now. Basically, cryptocurrencies are evolving. In the way they're evolving, we're seeing the development of completely new economies, the way finance is transacting, true globalization, this peer-to-peer interaction of people, distant people, in all kinds of ways. They have a common sort of understanding, and blockchain helps to bring that employing people that are so far away. There's so many advantages that are being brought forth by crypto, Now, when we look at supply chains, for example, Amazon, if places like Amazon, if they integrate cryptocurrencies, they're going to really reduce that barrier to entry when it comes to payment systems, because not all countries have efficient banking systems. So cryptocurrencies are going to really change a lot. And we're seeing things like this. Dubai just offered a license, their first, as far as we're concerned, their first license to a crypto exchange to actually operate within their country. So this is pretty amazing. It's pretty big. Dubai making moves, FTX making moves. And those that do not know, FTX is an exchange head by Sam Bankman-Friedman, who's essentially one of the wealthiest people in the cryptocurrency space, and it became one of the most popular exchanges. Now, that is one concept I'm talking about, which is synthetic assets. The other one is the Polygon network, as pretty much one of the most popular layer 2 scaling solutions. Guys, I asked you to be careful when you're listening to this video. Watch out for some of the words I'm saying. So we've looked at Polygon network, the FTX ecosystem, and how that's developing. And then not only Polygon, but also the integration of creating this thing called the peppermint. So which comes from the integration of the Tendermint consensus algorithm from the Cosmos ecosystem. Now we're seeing Cosmos, which is really fronting that inter-blockchain communication or interconnectivity of blockchains, and we're seeing a major layer 2 scaling solution, which is the Polygon network, integrating the Cosmos ecosystem. And we look at this document, we know places like OpenSea and many other NFT ecosystems, they're using the interplanetary file system, which was created by Filecoin. So you see this interconnection. And of course, Ethereum, most cryptocurrencies are really tapping into the Ethereum virtual machine. So you're seeing how all these crypto ecosystems are blending into each other, and we're starting to see where this space is heading. We're starting to distinguish between layer 2 solutions, layer 0 solutions, layer 1 ecosystems, and so on. And we also have bridging solutions. So you not only can you don't always have to go through a decentralized ecosystem, then you go through a centralized ecosystem, then to go back to a decentralized ecosystem to allow you to achieve that interconnectivity to transfer tokens. If you want to transfer tokens from one chain to another, you need to go through a centralized exchange. But now they're bridges. You can use these decentralized bridges, at least they're decentralized to some extent, and you can kind of slowly go away from centralized exchanges. And we've seen some of the CEOs of these centralized exchanges advising people not to keep their cryptocurrencies on exchanges for obvious reasons. Security, the other reasons you're missing out on the incentives of securing the other network. There's various incentives that could come from doing that, and also you're missing out on the number of use cases that you can provide or you can take advantage of in that particular ecosystem. So it's always advised to hold your own cryptocurrencies, to hold your private keys. Remember, not your keys, not your coins. So further tying things together, we can see blockchain play and earn games focus on building even as NFT prices fall. Guys, as someone that's been truly newly introduced to play to earn game, I've been in the crypto space for a while, but some of these concepts, they take a while for you to get in. It took a while for me to get into DeFi. It took a while for me to get into play to earn, but it's really interesting to see how these people continue to build despite the market conditions. Peg Axie, one of the games that I'm playing right now, Axie Infinity, all these games continue to build the true NFT platforms. And if you watch some of my old videos, you'll know what those platforms are. Platforms like the MetaKey and so on. There's so many other amazing platforms and ecosystems that continue to build despite what's happening now. And of course, you know the parallels with the NFT prices. Some of them are tied to tokens. Some of them are tied to game economics and gamification and stuff like that. So there's different aspects that can affect the price of non-fungible tokens, but it's good to see that the teams that are building these ecosystems know the value, so therefore they're not willing to stop just yet, just because of a bear market. So Peg Axie, Cyberkongs, CryptoPunks are some of the other examples they're giving here as teams that are continuing to build. I think they didn't talk about Bored Ape Yacht Club because there's that confusion. Bored Ape Yacht Club got recently acquired by another company, but we're not so sure if they're actually going to actively continue building or building use cases around these tokens. And I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why it wasn't mentioned in this article, but could be other reasons as well. Maybe it was just missed out. But that's just one example of the NFT space continuously growing. And then there's many other concepts within the crypto space. There's a company I like talking about, which is Fetch.AI, which these guys are building these things called multi-agent systems, and they're calling them digital twins now. Essentially, they're using an agent-based modeling. And I don't know any other blockchains using that, at least publicly portraying this. And we have an article here that was published by HackerNoon, which is Discover the Reason Agent-Based Modeling and Tokenomics Complement Each Other. So we're talking about some blockchains here, sort of looking at an agent-based modeling technique, and seeing how the tokenomics around this. So for for the case of the company, which is Fetch.AI, this type of modeling allows them to achieve agents, or these code modules or programming. They contain programming code, or you can think of them as modules, and they can act as assistants on behalf of their owners. So essentially, these agents are agent-based, operating in a multi-agent system in an open economic environment, which means they have that proactive nature as opposed to just being active. So whatever instruction you give them, they just act upon it, but they have that proactiveness, which means they can, to some extent, have a level of anonymity, especially the more they understand their environment and the more they develop. So I just wanted to hint about this. There's some things you might want to look at when you're looking at this crypto ecosystem. Then we're looking at things like this, how Cosmos pairing with Forte is reflecting on blockchain gaming. So not only is the Cosmos ecosystem such a powerhouse, but we're seeing them partnering with these ecosystems, these gaming ecosystems that are really going to truly not only bring a tremendous amount of value to the Cosmos ecosystem, but I think consequently the Cosmos ecosystem is even going to reflect way more value onto these ecosystems, because Cosmos is a decentralized ecosystem, which means millions of applications can be built on top of these ecosystems. So we can get out a snippet from this article. Cosmos developers will work with Forte to ensure that all third-party game developers on the Forte platform can access Cosmos's technology, and easily integrate their games with the Cosmos network. Forte will also add Atom, which is one of the biggest, the first ones to take that risk to develop solutions around the Cosmos ecosystem. They'll take that Atom token and other Cosmos-enabled cryptocurrencies, such as stablecoins, Luna, that whole ecosystem, to the Forte network to be used as payment, liquidity, or collateral for users, greatly increasing utility of the Atom token and helping create a better experience for developers and players. So the Cosmos Hub wallets and accounts will also be integrated into the Forte wallet architecture. So this is really amazing. I think you're starting to see the parallels of the layer cryptocurrencies. I would describe Cosmos as a layer 0 ecosystem. Polygon is a layer 2 scaling solution. Of course, Ethereum is a layer 1 solution. You have smart contracts built onto this. Cosmos is a layer 0 because you can build layer 1 on top of that. You can even almost build other layer 0s on top of Cosmos, because you could build a chain on top of Cosmos, and other people can build other chains on top of that chain. I can give you one example. Fetch.AI builds on the Cosmos ecosystem, but you can also build your own sovereign chains on top of Fetch.AI and leverage their ecosystem. Guys, I'm doing this video to start to put some things into perspective, to show you how important it is to see the fact that we're getting this interconnectivity, and how it's going to benefit so many things when it comes to NFTs, when it comes to gaming, when it comes to bridging your assets, when it comes to holding your own assets, having your own custody of assets, and this space as it evolves when it comes to user interface. How easy is it to onboard different fiat onboarding ways? So creating easy ways to change your fiat money, your traditional money, into cryptocurrencies. I think all these things are going to really help the cryptocurrency space grow, and I don't think the bear market is going to be as long as all the past bear markets, because there's a lot of institutional VC money flowing into the crypto space. All right, guys, I hope you've learned something. I hope you've learned something from this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.